welcome back to the WGL pack.
WGL pack?
WGL
Well,
pack. Oh, man.
You were close.
I don't even have an excuse because it hasn't been a long night. It's been quite a chill night, actually.
It's been a very chill night.
So
We had one series off. You know, we've had a couple of 5-1s.
Maybe I'm just getting lazy.
You're just bad.
I'm Rogi, of course, Elfish Guy here as well to bring you the last game of the night in the WGL pack region.
Yes. Well, it is L Gaming and Big Gaming, if we want to go with that. EL Gaming and B Gaming. Let's start with the silly stuff.
Yeah.
Coming up here, it's probably a one-sided matchup. I'm gonna say.
Well, any game with EL, besides, of course, efficiency, even Meltdown actually challenging these guys. Okay, most games that EL play is usually very one-sided. B Gaming, though, definitely the team that used to be able to challenge EL back in the past. Unfortunately, they're still... I was hoping they would kind of just reach this mid-season epiphany and think, all right, this is what we need to do to get better at the game. Yeah. And they're going to be back on top, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, look, they have looked a little better in the last couple of weeks. They have been able to challenge some teams, get a few rounds on the board, more than what I thought they were going to get. And so, you know, I feel like they have been on a slight rise. But in saying that, again, they're nowhere near what we saw from Season 1. Yeah. They're nowhere near where our expectations of this lineup probably are. And they're you know, nowhere near really being able to pick up any significant wins.
No, they're really struggling here. And I feel like this is a series that they're going to struggle even more because EL, one of the best teams, if not the best, I would say, if they had a few easy victories over Team Efficiency under the belt, yet to do so, though. But still, great squad. Last week we saw them falter a little bit against Dark Horse, but can come back to potentially using their new player, Even Fall, here. And curious to see if he'll debut, not debut, but play again for them tonight.
Yeah, I suspect he will be. We'll have to find out, though. But, yeah, it's like they kind of did falter against Dark Horse. Yes, they dropped 2 rounds on Runeberg.
Very uncharacteristic.
But, you know, like, straight after that, they just basically wiped the floor with them 5 rounds in a row. So I'm really, you know, not going to read into it all that much.
It's an anomaly.
Exactly. I think EL Gaming is the same old strong EL Gaming that we've expected to see throughout this season. Obviously, they haven't looked as good as they did last season, but they're still miles ahead of B Gaming.
Of course, B Gaming, other team going to be rolling out onto the battlefield tonight. Have just struggled time and time again, and you really got to kind of question why, because some of the players on this roster are all superstars in their own doubt. Tiltil, one of the best, if not the best, Tier 8 player that we had last season. Now he's playing a little bit of Tier 10s, mixing it up time and time again. He just really hasn't found his footing back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird because this roster, a lot of these players are coming through from last season. A lot of them played, like Taki, Shino Sackett was on Karen Tiger, Tilta Matil, T4, Yusushan Power, Samo, Super Hiroshi, Otori, Riku-san. They all played last season. Even Colin played last season. And for some reason, things are just not gelling.
Yeah, it's really like a head scratcher here, especially when you got players like Usushan Power, and he's still holding that top damage dealt statistic.
No, actually, he got overtaken by JT last week.
I had a feeling it would have, because he had a shocker.
He did
last week, and JT had an excellent.
He's still in second position though.
That's still a huge feat. And when you're the second highest damage dealer in the league on the 6th place team, you really have to wonder what's going wrong. What other aspects of B Gaming are faltering right now that isn't allowing them to achieve victory? And up against Hardline, one of the best players in the game, and he's eclipsing him in damage.
Yeah, he is, but as a whole, obviously the EL roster, man for man, probably a lot stronger. I think you could probably put B Gaming almost in your dream team, but certainly I don't think you'd put any of the other B Gaming players in there. And you'd probably have at least 2 or 3 of those EL Gaming players. I'd certainly have a couple of them in my dream team as well.
We forgot to do that.
We did forget
to do it. We can do it for tomorrow.
We could potentially.
We can cheek it out tonight. Sneak it out tonight if we get a quick 5-0 here.
Yeah. No. Let's not hope for a 5-0 because that's Alex's prediction. Let's hope for a 5-1. That way you and I can...
If history repeats itself, it's going to be a 5-1 going to EL, of course. Because B Gaming, that's probably their characteristic, is that they can always sneak out one round. They very rarely go down to the clean sweep.
Yeah.
And with the new meta being a very slow and methodical meta, we might see a team like EL who really excel at creating chaos, creating doubt in their opposition by flanking, by just getting those fast tanks in the background and just completely obliterating the enemy team's setup. We may see them kind of not adapt as well as some of the other teams maybe.
That is a good point, because they have had some troubles adapting to the slower style of the gameplay. We know how well they use the bat chats and the TVPs and the Grill 15. I mean, the Grill's got nerfed, and now that the mouse has been buffed, we are starting to see them you know, taking over a lot of the positions that sometimes the Batchats are going to be taking in that tank roster. So, you know, you'll see 3 Mouses instead of 6 Batchats, something like that. So that may hurt EL Gaming. I don't know. We'll have to see how they go tonight. This is obviously the first time we'll see them play on this patch, but I definitely think that's a good point that you make there. Whether or not EL Gaming is going to transfer to the new meta, if they're going to start playing the mouse a little bit more, or if they're going to try and stay back on the tried and true Batchat.
Do you think it could still work for them? Like, if any team can pull it off, it's going to be EL. If
any team can pull it off, it is going to be EL. It'll come down to the maps as well, depending on which ones we get on
here. Take it
away,
John.
So let's not dilly-dally too much longer. Let's have a look at the maps before we talk about what tanks are coming out. Steps taken away by EL. No surprises at all. No. I say it every time. They take it away every time. Can't really dwell on it too much. B Gaming, they don't like Cliff. EL Gaming do like Cliff. Get rid of it. Basically works for me. Mine's best map of the season so far for EL Gaming. They've only dropped 1 round of it. That was the
It's like, what do you want to verse EL on, Mines or Cliffs?
Nothing.
You're gonna, no, you can't. Unfortunately, you don't get 2 vetoes at the start of the game, so you're gonna have to go 2-0 at least 1 map.
Now, Ruinberg picked there by B Gaming. That is a bit of a sore point for me. I'm not sure I'm too much of a fan of that idea, because EL was very, very good on Ruinberg, and
except
B Gaming.
Dark Rules.
Yeah, except against Dark Rules. So maybe there's something in it for B Gaming here. So okay, let's say that's not too bad of a choice from B Gaming. Himmelsdorf taken away by B Gaming. Fair enough. It's a good map for EL. It's a bad map for B Gaming. Ghost Town taken from EL. This has been their standard vetoes for the last few weeks.
They know their weaknesses, and they're not going to let any team exploit that.
Basically, yeah, exactly. They don't like steps. And then Ghost Town seems to be their next week's map, so they get rid of that one as well. And then obviously we're on Muravanka and Prokhorovka as our last 2. Those are the ones that got through towards the end. Neither of the teams, you know, love either of those maps, but neither of the teams are awful at either of those maps either. I think Muravanka probably favours EL Gaming though, because they haven't really had too many difficulties on it this season. The only thing for me is that they haven't really played it that much this season. So
yeah, and there's a reason why, because EL, they usually don't make it very far in a series against most teams. Usually 3 maps in and out quite efficiently here. But of course, the maps once again will be Mines to start us off. EL Gaming's best map, then Ruinberg, Muravanka, Prokhorovka, and Mines once again. So even if B Gaming do the impossible and bring us all the way to the tiebreaker, they'll go up against EL on their best map. So odds are stacked against them from the start.
Absolutely, and I've said 5-1 for this one. Honestly, when
where do you see B Gaming win? I think Ruinberg.
I'd say Ruinberg is the best chance, but honestly, I don't think they can do it. Like, I think looking at these maps, it's going to be a 5-0.
Yeah, maybe if we saw Ghost Town instead of Ruinberg, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Ghost Town's not a great map for B Gaming, so...
EL looked like hopeless on Ghost Town, though.
The only thing about it is, like, I think B Gaming is a good enough team to get 1 round, but I just don't see on this map pool where they're going to get around.
I wonder what makes EL Gaming so bad at steps.
They're not. I don't think they're bad at it. I just think they don't like it.
That's fair enough.
Because I was speaking to Fox, and you know, I was like, "Oh, how come you never play steps?" And he just says, "I hate the map." And I was like, "Okay."
After seeing a few of the upcoming revamps on some of the maps on the way, I really steps is an ugly map.
Well,
it's an ugly map.
I mean, a lot of them could do with a facelift.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And here's one of them.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that is getting the facelift, and honestly, it looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous.
Amazing, amazing. I really am so looking forward to it.
If you guys haven't checked it out, that's something to do in the interim between games.
Yeah.
It is.
Should probably start playing that as one of like the break content videos.
That's a great point.
It's an excellent video. But so enough about the graphics. Now onto the tank picks. It does look like EL Gaming are going to be shifting over to the mouse meta. We did see them play the mouse a couple of times on Ruinberg last week. I think that was actually against Dark Rules. So we'll see how they go here.
So is this kind of split the game in 2?
Yeah,
because essentially you've got the 6 mouse will be having their own little shindig somewhere on the map, and then the 4 Batchats and the 1 Skoda this time will be off doing their own thing as well. So kind of like let the adults fight while the kids just run around and do their own thing.
Well, there's just a bit of everything kind of in mind, right? There's enough there for the Batchats to be able to rotate around and that kind of thing, but there's also enough there for the heavies to be able to play their poke and brawl game. Actually looks like we've got Kongbai in the roster here for EL for the first time tonight. So not playing, so Evenfall's not playing. Guanren, obviously the one that we typically would see here for EL, he's not playing. So we've got Kongbai in tonight. So that's interesting. Another new player on that EL Gaming roster. Well, not new, but
it could be one of those things where like Kongbai, he might be an excellent heavy tank player, and
potentially.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's better to play with someone who's confident than if Guan Ren's just like, hey man, if I don't have a bat shot in my hands, I'm useless.
Yeah, well, Guan Ren does tend to take the bat chat quite a lot. He also takes the 50B quite a lot. So
yeah.
both of which have somewhat fallen out of favor a little bit in favor of the mouse and, the Type 5 heavy, that kind of thing. So potentially there's something in it for them, but let's have a look and see how EL Gaming go tonight before we make too many judgments. Bat chats, of course, for B Gaming, just spotting out on the beach. Looks like one of those EL Gaming players has tried to go for the boost, but has been spotted out, so has to fall back off it. And B Gaming for the moment, well, 50 points of health behind, but really not much to talk about. That is,
Well, look, when the HP pools are like 3k higher than what we're used to seeing, every little bit counts.
Yep, here goes Black again, having a go at the boost. And he's managed to do it quite easily, but
does get spotted.
He's spotted out, so he's going to take a shot from Riku Sam. I don't know if there's anyone else actually in a position to get shots onto him. Where is Colin? No, he's too far around the corner, so it will just be Riku Sam who can get shots into him, but Black has to be so careful here because if he, takes another couple of shots as he's on that boost, that's a lot of free damage given up.
Yeah, I think he knows his limits, though. I think he knows exactly where he can wait without any potential damage coming through, until, of course, he gets unspotted.
It looks like Riku Sam just fired off a shot there. No, he didn't. But in any case, Black has managed to get up on the boost, only taking one shot of damage. I think that's fine.
They know he's up there, though, so he's not going to have the element of surprise to just go for free spots here. Eventually, there will be aware that it's Black, the one that's spotting them, no one else.
Yeah, but what can Black do up here? I mean, you know what I'd be so interested to see is the breakdown of how much ammo they're taking. Like, how much heat are these bat chats taking? Because typically speaking, you'd take maybe one clip of heat in a bat chat. Nowadays, I'm actually taking 2 clips of heat in bat chats. But when you're playing in WGL, where you're going to be going up against more mouses, I would say, you might even take 15 rounds of heat or even 20, depending on the map. So that'd be interesting to know, but unfortunately, Obsmod doesn't show us that. Still, though, I have to
just hit him up.
Yeah, I will. Actually, I will ask, see how much these guys are taking. But I would say it's quite a lot more than what it generally was.
Well, you got to adapt, pretty much adapt or die at this stage, and this is kind of the pace of the game that we're seeing more and more with the mouse reigning supreme. Is that no one wants to be the silly willy to get out there and get caught out. And
silly willy.
Yeah. I was spending too much time around Alex, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a very Blakey thing to say.
Yeah. Anyway, from the moment, EL Gaming haven't really done all that much. Normally on mines, EL Gaming is very, very fast into positions and really putting pressure on their opponents from the start of the match. But
oh wow, Quake gets around spotted.
Yeah, he'll get proxy spotted though by the mouse, so they do have that information. But yeah, EL Gaming, they can't do that with a roster like this. You can't go aggressive with a triple mouse setup because even if your bat chats and your SCO to get in there, the mouse are still going to be back way, way behind trying to get to the fight. So you can't afford to just go in and take that 3 or 4 versus 7. They need to fight as a team here, and I'm not so sure they're going to be too comfortable with this slow style of gameplay.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Kongbai and Principal are slowly but surely making their way up. Colin should be able to get the first shot off here, but he's going to have 2 mouse looking him down. Kongbai can't connect, and that's going to be the double ding, triple ding coming out for Colin. The 4th shot finally pens.
Yeah,
Fox CS manages to get 150 damage, hard earned.
Yeah, it's a tier 9 tank. It's not a great amount of penetration on that tank as it is, so yeah, not too keen on that for Fox TS. I'd like to see him probably in a TVP if anything else, but regardless, he's not been able to do all that much so far in the Skoda. In saying that though, Colin is not having a great time. Nice somehow has managed to find himself all the way behind all of these mouses. I don't know where he's driven in from, probably the 7 line. Yeah. But he's like almost in the B Gaming's base right now, just shooting the back of him. And he's still alive.
Well, that's the beauty of the mouse, right? They can't turn around very fast. Kongbai finally able to take out Colin, and I honestly thought you guys were over-exaggerating when you said, oh, the next patch is going to be the mouse patch. It's really going to be strong. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe. But bloody hell, it's really just taking over the game right now. And
it is. Yeah.
I've never heard so many dings in my life.
Nope, definitely not. I mean, you should see it in pub battles as well, where it's 15 versus 15, and like you get a mouse and it just drives down the 1-2 line on Prokhorovka, and it still survives. And like blocks 8,000 damage. It's ridiculous. But so
far, like you said, people aren't taking that many heat shells into the games anymore. So,
they have to start. They have to start.
Moment.
That's the thing, right? Like the meta has shifted so much that people are having to change their ammo loadouts purely because of one tank, and it's crazy. But I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. I really think that something is going to happen to the mouse sooner or later.
EL Gaming looking strong as ever, if a little bit slower, albeit. Of course, B Gaming they split up. They are on the defense here, so. But if some miracle that EL Gaming decide not to go for a cap and just waste 3.5 minutes, they will win the round, but it doesn't look like that will be the case. Principal might go down. No.
Like, it's not like EL Gaming has this one in the bag. I mean, Nice is one shot, Principal's one shot, FoxDS is one shot, and Quiet is a one shot.
They're theoretically one shot. You have to pen that shot.
You do have to pen the shot.
That was just 3 shots from a Batchat to kill a 90 HP mouse.
Yeah. That's just the trouble. Like, he would have been firing heat, I'm fairly certain. And even then, it's not like a sure thing that you're going to pen, depending on where you're shooting him.
Yeah.
On the side, he probably should have been penning those shots. But, I mean, it is what it is. EL Gaming, obviously, with the advantage here, it's not like they can't lose it. Like I said, I mean, so many one-shot tanks for EL. Hardliner being able to pick up happiness here probably is going to be able to seal the deal, though. Like, if they had 3 Batchats alive, or 2 Batchats and a Batchat AP, and they had have taken out those low HP tanks, you know, maybe then there was a chance. But here for B Gaming now, I think it's all really said and done. Taki's not even going to get out of here, I don't think. Kongbai should be able to reload just in time.
Yeah, that decreased reload time really
not quite.
Huge factor.
It's just
the success
like
of
the DPM
mouse.
on the mouse as well. It's not just. By the way, EL Gaming just won.
Yep,
it's
not game.
It's not just the fact that the mouse has so much HP and so much ridiculous armor. It got a massive DPM buff. It got a massive gun handling buff as well. Like, it just pumps out damage as well. Like, it used to be, right, when you would see a mouse, especially in WGL, you would sort of just ignore it, right?
You just drive past.
That's what it was there for. It was there to take damage, basically.
Yeah, 11, 12-second reload.
But you can't afford to do that now.
No.
It's just going to keep dumping damage on you. And
you
like,
just can't ignore
you
it.
have to shoot it.
Yeah.
But if you shoot it, you're not shooting the Batchats, and it's just a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, well, you don't need any Batchats to shoot if it's just mouse on the field, and that's pretty much the majority of what we're seeing coming out here. And the mouse combat you saw on that map, it was Colin just sitting there up against Kongbai and Principal as they slowly made their way over to the fight, and they eventually took him out after what seemed like 30, 45 seconds of trading fire there. And I don't know, the Batchats just didn't. They were off doing their own things. We saw Happiness get caught out by Hardliner. A few little things there. Black up on the boost. Obviously something that the mouse can't do. So it's not the all-powerful mouse just yet.
I wonder if you took like 6 mouses, if you could push a mouse up. I wonder. Maybe something to try in a training room later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be interesting.
You keep wondering, Jordan.
I don't know if it would be very relevant though.
What tank has the most push?
Probably a mouse.
Mouse?
Because it's the heaviest, right?
Yeah.
So he just keeps driving. It doesn't care. Or Type 5 heavy, actually, I think, maybe. But anyway, irrelevant, really. I don't think a mouse up on a boost would be necessarily all that useful because, you know, like in a Batchat, you kind of just want to peek up and down, take a shot. In a mouse, you're like,
all that's coming to mind is the scene from Simba where he's holding up the little baby lion, but it's just this massive tank.
Yeah, a mouse. I don't know how you got that.
It's just on the top of like a cliff, like looking over.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's up there, like, because he's obviously doesn't have a very good camo value. He's a big bloody mouse up on the hill.
Well, there we go. Batchat's up the top. EL Gaming up the top. Black and Hardliner are doing a good job.
Hey.
You would expect to see Black up the top there, given that he was on the boost. So that's a good job from him. I mean, Hardliner, he's always generally the damage dealer for EL Gaming. Nice to see him up towards the top there. I want to see what FoxDS was able to do because he was in that Skoda and, you know, the Skoda was pretty good. I mean, he was pretty good in the Skoda in the last meta. But in this meta, how much work are you going to be able to get done against a almost full mouse lineup?
We saw him work very hard for 150 damage on that mouse.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's really a place for him in that Skoda.
No, I don't know.
Like obviously not against the mouse, maybe against some of the Batchat APs.
Yeah, but the problem is, right, you only usually see the Skoda on a map like Mines, which is going to have a few mouse.
Well, yeah,
I mean, 11,000 damage.
There's still 4 Batchats on the side of...
Yeah.
Whether it
But
be
he
AP
really
or-
didn't get that much done. I mean,
No.
it's like a tier 9 tank, you'd probably be hoping for a little more out of it, to be honest. But Colin and his mouse certainly didn't get much done either. Only
No, he
one
just
shot
got
of damage.
smacked. Well, not even smacked. He got grinded out up against the wall.
Like,
there.
he still managed to fire 6 shells, but he's only connected with one of them.
Penningham's another story.
Apparently is. Anyway, we'll see how B Gaming is going to be able to respond here, because technically speaking, Lions has actually been a pretty good map for B Gaming so far this season. The reason I was kind of like, oh, EL Gaming is going to win at 2-0 is the fact that EL Gaming so far haven't really been challenged by anyone on this map. They did lose one round to Karen Tiger, but aside from that, they've looked almost unstoppable on Lions. Whereas B Gaming, yes, they've looked okay, they haven't looked anywhere near as strong as EL Gaming.
Well, that was a close round. Like you said, there were a lot of one-shot tanks on the side of EL Gaming. So if things had gone slightly different, maybe a few shots had pen instead of dinged for B Gaming, maybe they could have done it. Maybe they could have at least made it very much closer. But coming into the next side, they will be on the attack. So the ball's in their court. They're the ones that need to make the play. I'll have to see how many mouse they decide to roll out with, and probably be seeing the typical 3 on either side here. Wonder what their supporting tanks will be as well.
I mean, potentially we see a Type 5 heavy coming out
That's
here.
true.
I can definitely see that, given the fact that there's a lot of bat chats on both lineups, generally speaking. Obviously, the Type 5 is going to be quite useful with the big derp gun if you can get a shot across. You know, we could potentially see a Grill 15 coming out here. We do know Fox likes that. Yes, it's been nerfed, but it's still quite good. Even the Scorpion G, you know, go back to that old EL Gaming sort of lineup that they do like to take, but doesn't look like that's the case. We do have a Type 5 heavy, though. Object 416 is a little interesting, actually, for me. That could be kind of interesting. I would love to see the Object 416, like, circling around a mouse or, like, face-hugging a mouse, because the mouse wouldn't be able to shoot him.
Yeah.
He's such a low-profile tank. STRV there for B Gaming on the attack. I'm wondering if maybe that's sort of in response to what EL Gaming generally tends to do on their defensive side, which is rush around the corner of the mine if they're going to have that STRV in a position to take some shots onto those bat chats. And I wonder even if EL Gaming is going to go for that kind of a strategy here, if they will run around the mine, because, you know, in this kind of a meta, is it going to work? You know, maybe not, if they're not going to be able to clip out a couple of mouses, and it does look like EL Gaming is just going to play the beach here,
Well,
so it's not quite as aggressive.
Black actually cops a lot of damage on that, over half his HP down the drain. Great stuff by Muller being able to get up there and scout out early. So, still need the tier 8s for something.
Yeah. I wonder why Fox TS is an Object 416 here as opposed to anything else. Like, if you're going to pick a tier 8 and put him in that position, why not the Scorpion G, which is going to be able to have a good amount of alpha and it's got a good amount of pen for a tier 8 tank? Or why not a T49, which, for example, is going to be free resets essentially with the derp gun?
Looks like someone's taken a fry pan and just slapped the top of that.
It is a very
down.
flat tank, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually like kind of a weird tank, really, when you try and play it, because it's a back-mounted turret and it's a really flat tank. Like it just kind of doesn't play like most of the other tanks in the game.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit strange. But anyway, we'll see how Fox TS does in it. He tends to find a way to make things work, and poor old Hardliner's not really making much work there. And here's Bat Chat. He fired, I think, almost an entire clip at that mouse and didn't pen a single shell.
No, he did not.
Now, admittedly, the Bat Chat is not the most accurate of tanks, so it is going to be difficult for him to hit the weak spots at that kind of a range, but you'd hope at least that you'd be able to get 1 or 2 in.
Yeah.
Fortunately, not the case. I'm not necessarily blaming him, to be honest. It's a mouse,
You're
right?
just stating facts, my friend.
It's just, yeah. I don't know.
You can see Till up on his own little
little
mountain. He's just hanging out here. B Gaming on the attacking side. They haven't been damaged just yet. Till just hanging out, relying in Wade. Quiet, he's up on his own little mount as well. But, of course, with B Gaming time ticking down, they are on the attacking side here, so they're going to have to make a move soon. I want to jump on board with their communications, have a quick sneak peek at what they could potentially be doing for an attack.
他今見てる。
OK、ハブスこれ下げるよ、一回。
はい。
ハブス下げて。
あと7分。もうリロー終わる。
OK、これ俺も下げるよ。
俺が
俺こっちも5個これ。
はい。
東が
どこよ
取りに行こう。東が取りに行こ
了解
う。バレたバレたバレた。動いた瞬間バレた。
マウスはどうする？
マウス1枚ここに
マウス岡上チェックしとその岡上チェックしといてほしい。
もう1枚
でもさ SRV 悪いけど、
はい
西側の視界通してくんね。
オッケーやっとこ
他取るんだよね、パッとも。
岡は取りたい。最初まず岡は取りたい。まず岡は取りたい。
バレた
ちいち君だけケアしといて、東側。タッキー君、岡君
これでバレるんだから、ここにある
ケア
可能性もあるんだよね。登って
で
る
ここじゃあ
可能性ある。
う。オ
登らしとく
ッケー。登ってるかもしれない。
できれば登ってほしい。
いやここで
こ
マウス
登れる
やられたんだから。
アポニス裏から登れんのこれ。
ああ、登れる。こっち登る。
そうそうそう。まず中央取りたい。
バット。ああ、そこのバット。
俺普通に生きるけど行っちゃっていいこのまま。
さ
行っちゃっていい、行っちゃっていい。
バレる
オッケ
家の横の物
You look at that. Not too much happening. Oh, Tacky. Oh, happiness as well.
Yeah, it's actually not the easiest of boosts to hit.
Doesn't look easy.
Because there's kind of like two elements to it.
Everyone laughing, Muller.
It's it's easier to do if you keep that momentum from the first part,
Oh,
but
yeah, by the look of
you
it.
can actually do it from the position that Molo was in. Unfortunately, he didn't do it right. But yeah, it's not an easy boost to do. So yeah, good props to Happiness there. And who was it, Tilty Matil?
Tacky.
Tacky. It's props to Happiness and Tacky for getting that one done. But as of yet, we haven't really seen that much happen. I guess B Gaming have gained control of the hill. Hardliners up on the boost.
Friends help friends do boost.
Quiet in principle here, just trying to spot out some tanks. Which they're not able to do just yet.
I always just like have a little thing to myself. What would this look like in real life? Just an actual like
that wouldn't
warfare
happen.
scenario.
No way that would
Where
happen in real life.
tanks are just bopping each other up. Quick, get
Yeah.
over the hill for a quick scouting check.
Yeah. No, they'd probably just pop like a little periscope up out of their roof and be like, oh, yep, I'll look over that way. I won't actually drive my tank over the hill and expose it.
I won't use my other tank to help drive my other tank over the hill.
Yeah. Oh man, it's Boost City at the moment here on Mines.
What else is there to do? Shoot at a mouse for 30
Yeah.
seconds and do no damage?
That's true.
They got to keep themselves sane somehow, Jordan.
Yeah. There's a lot of boosts actually on Mines. So we're kind of getting like the full experience here on Mines. We've seen the...
I heard they're removing a bunch with the...
Yeah, well,
the
no,
reskin.
it's not confirmed, but it looks like it. It really looks like it. I mean, we've got that zero line boost from Hardline, although he was on the defensive side, so not really. But, you know, and we got the mine boost, and then we got the B8 boost, or the B7 boost, whatever you want to call it. Like, all the boosts here on... And even we got the A1 boost.
Yeah, you name it. You name a quadrant, there's a boost nearby for you.
Pretty much. Except maybe, like, in the water somewhere. Oh, that's a good shot. I like that road. You know, that road is going to get a HD remake. Right?
Oh, well, we can come back to that shot after and do like a comparison.
Next season?
A before and after shot
Yeah.
of how well that road looks. And they did a lot of stuff. I think the skyline had like the industrial era was there. There's a lot of smoking
Yeah, like there was...
towers.
Well, it wasn't really industrial, I don't think. It was like stuff that was on fire.
Oh, was it in farm? It
Yeah.
was like an industrial site.
No, no.
Only caught a quick glimpse.
Yeah, no. It's not quite so modern, I don't think. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Shinozakin and Colin starting to push around there.
Is that same shot?
We back!
Oh, look, nice in the Type 5 heavy. Spotting out. Well, he's not spotting out, but he's had spotted out for him the triple threat combo of B Gaming slowly but surely moving their way up. Shinozaka and Colin.
They know that he's there as well, so they're going to be keen to take this fight. He's going to do 431, which is, you know, not too bad.
Shinozaka shoots the wall. That's
The
pretty
mouse
bad.
the mouse can outtrade the Type 5 Heavy easily, but the problem is at the moment that Nice is really just playing this one quite well, backing out, you know, he's denying Shinozaka the shots when he wants it, and he's baiting them into his teammates, which is obviously, as you can see, working out quite nicely. Shinozaka and Colin both taking a little bit of damage there. Nice so far has only taken one shot of damage.
Yeah, EL Gaming, it looks like B Gaming have completely walked into their spider's web here, and they're just going to get completely pelted from every single angle. T4 goes down in the S-Tank.
Did he
He's
just get
off
one
the
shot?
field. I could potentially have it. I don't know where he was or who shot him, but he went down like a sack of potatoes here as Invincible. The 1v1.
He won't one-shot Muller there with that last shot, so he's going to have to back out. Muller's not looking too healthy, but certainly things are looking pretty healthy for EL Gaming at the moment.
He's doing a
Shinozaka
great
goes down.
job of penning these mouses.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible to pen them, especially when you've got tanks that are...
It seems like it for a lot of these players.
In certain situations it is. Like, it's very difficult. But the fact that EO Gaming's sort of set up like this, they have tanks that can shoot from every direction.
Yeah.
The mouse can't look in 4 directions every time, right?
It's not props to their like individual play to hit those penning shots. It's more or less props to their setup that's allowing them to, like you said, catch the mouse from every angle. And obviously,
low roll.
B Gaming had to do that because they're on attack.
Yeah.
There's nothing else they can do. They have to walk in and lose the round.
I'm not sure that was the way to do it, though.
Of course, there's a better way to do it, but like...
I think they could have potentially probably pushed Beach with the bat chat, see what they could have gotten done there.
Yeah. Because it felt like the two mouse just drove out.
It was too slow.
And got like a barrage.
Exactly, exactly. There was so much time for EL to set up to that. They had the information really, really early on. And that's, you know, that's where the bat chats are going to be advantageous, where they can, you know, in a situation like that, they could have got in there quickly, got the damage off, and potentially got out before, you know, EO Gaming really had time to react. The unfortunate situation for them was the fact that it was a Type 5 heavy on the other side of that cliff, and obviously the bat chats are going to have trouble clipping that out, assuming, you know, assuming they don't pen every single shot, which is probably fair to say. Like, you're not going to pen every single shot. But in reality, it looked, again, a very convincing result for EO Gaming. 2-0 on Mines. I'd say it's probably 2-0 on Ruinberg and Murabanka. We're setting up for a pretty quick one here.
Yeah. A quick one by...
a quick but slow one.
A certain definition, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In terms of round count anyway. EL Gaming, once again, looking back on top. They seem to have been adapting to this meta quite well, especially on the defense, where they know there's no real reason to expose any of their heavy tanks, just kind of leave them lying in wait for B Gaming to be the ones to make the move, the ones to come out into the firing line, just pelt them from pretty much all angles, and it's all she wrote for B Gaming in that second half.
Yeah, really is. Hopefully Ruinberg's going to be a little kinder to them. I think maybe that's going to be a little easier because they will be allowed to get into a closer range with the mouse without taking damage.
Sure.
Whereas on Mines there, you know, EL Gaming was kind of just able to pepper shots into them for as long as they wanted to before the fight actually started.
Like you said, maybe if they'd gone for a beach play, it could have been a little bit nicer, but they didn't have much time.
It's all theoretically, you know, you can be like, oh yeah, this could have happened, this could have been better. But in reality, EO Gaming is just such a strong team that it feels as though they probably would have reacted regardless.
It's just as funny as the first time.
Yeah, poor Moller.
I like how he just sits there for a while.
He got tracked.
Okay,
he damaged his track.
I was going to say, or did he damage his track?
Yeah,
But yeah, he damaged his track. He wasn't out of self...
depression.
That's it.
Yeah. But
it's like the kid that watches...
I wonder how much damage Till did up there. Because I would be saying it's probably not much.
You would be correct, because he's not on the top half, and Fox TS getting 1,500 in the Object 416, kind of setting the benchmark for the top 7 there.
And that's a tier 8 tank as well. Quite impressive considering the types of tanks that he was going up against.
Yeah, I think he was just sitting in the backline shooting the mouse.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could have been shooting at bat chats or something like that, but still, 1,500's not too bad from your tier 8. And across the board, things looking pretty good there. Kong Bai with a pretty good performance. I mean, you know, new into this roster, haven't seen him play so far this season, and he started off with a 3,900 really damage game, admittedly against a bunch of mouses, but still looking pretty good for EO Gaming in this matchup. Happiness and Colin, the only ones to really get anything done for B Gaming, but even then, like, 2.2 and 2.4 were not amazing kind of...
That's the thing, right?
numbers in the last match.
Were amazing.
Well, they weren't really. Like, they were good, but they weren't excellent, you know? So
and now with just more HP, you got to start pumping up those,
hope for more. STRV, not much damage done from T4 there.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to it. It was just kind of there, then it wasn't.
Wrecked. I don't know, maybe he got hit by the Type 5, but I didn't think
the
Type 5 had an angle.
was fighting the mouse.
Yeah. Maybe...
Guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Maybe it just got clipped out by a bat chat and we kind of just missed it.
Yeah.
It just is a
that's definitely a possibility because we were really watching the majority of the fights happening on the mouse.
Apparently Principal clipped him out, I'm told, by the production overlords. So, good stuff from Principal to get rid of that tank off the field. Obviously the STRV is not something that you want to keep on for a long time. I mean, it is going to be able to do damage, especially to a mouse, which is such a slow-moving tank. It has a very, very high rate of fire, can just keep pumping shells out, and the mouse is not going to be able to get out of its, out of its angle very quickly, being a mouse. But regardless, I mean, EO Gaming were not too bothered by that matchup at all on Mines.
They look quite solid.
Yep.
In many definitions of the word.
Yes, yes, they definitely did. And so I think it's going to be very much the same coming out onto Ruinberg here. I mean, Ruinberg, you know, the mouse is probably even more likely to be seen here on this one. I'd say we're seeing 3 mouse minimum, maybe a Type 5 heavy on each team as well.
You'd be hard pressed to find a map that isn't 3 mouse minimum at the moment.
Prokhorovka,
I
Steps.
guess we'll wait and see if we get that, but we won't see Steps.
No.
We'll have to wait and see if we get that.
Muravanka, you probably won't see 3 mouse either, maybe 1 or 2.
We've seen 1 or 2 in the past as well, just as like a tank to go to.
Yeah, I think that
it
was...
never really worked.
Yeah.
But I could see the idea behind it. It's kind of like that the battering ram to break the doors down. Of course, it's going to sustain a lot of damage, but once the gates open, that's where the troops flood in.
Yeah, well, the troops being the Batchats in this metaphor, I suppose. But for now, thinking about Ruinberg...
Thanks, because no one got that.
It's all right.
So obscure, Jordan.
I got you, mate.
Thanks for that,
I
dude.
got you, dude. Ruinberg probably will see some Batchats here. We'll see some Mouse here. I wonder if we'll see some tank destroyers. T123 is potentially here. Probably not a 4005 anymore. Never really saw it all that much on Ruinberg. Occasionally. Grill 15, I'd love to see a Grill 15 again coming out from EL Gaming, but I don't think it's too likely. So we do have a triple mouse for B Gaming. We have a mouse and a Type 4 heavy actually for EL. But not too surprising there at all. They have gone for an IS-7 as well as a 113, just for that extra little bit of DPM, I suppose.
Yeah, I like it.
As opposed to, you know, well, not DPM, I suppose, but the extra just continuous fire as opposed to the 50Bs, which are a little bit more burst damage. So I think it's a pretty well-rounded lineup for EL. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
You're always going to be hitting them.
Pretty much, yeah.
And look, when you know what you can predict, that's how the meta works. You know what your opponent's going to run as well as what you run. You can kind of maybe throw in a few tech tanks there to deal with it. And the 113's been quite solid in the past.
Definitely.
You know, 2 AMX 50Bs, Fox and Quiet. Their job, of course, is going to be trying to angle out some of those bat shots on the side of B Gaming. And nice, just making...
Yeah, he's just getting into an early spotting position here because that sort of a route, that little street there in front of him is the route that you see the mouse. Well, if you want to put it that way.
Oh, look, when you're hiding and 3 mouse coming around, that's pretty extreme.
It is true. Probably will see the mouses push in his direction, though.
Probably not, they haven't moved from spawn yet.
Well, yeah. The 1 flag is an option for B Gaming, but typically if you were going to go towards the 1 flag with on the attacking side, you'd probably go with something like a tank destroyer or a couple of tank destroyers. You know, might see a Grill 15 and an E3 or...
So what's the benefit of the delayed rollout here from B Gaming? Like, what are they hoping to gain from this? Because they're pretty much just giving EL time and position.
They're just trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, look, there you go. They've got a bunch of spots in towards mid. Now, Kongbai's spotted, Hardliner spotted, Principal spotted. Happiness is over here as well. He's kind of spotting out on this side of the map. So it does give B Gaming a little bit of time to figure out what's going on the map, because they kind of have got a one and done sort of a lineup. They have to go to the correct place because they can't really rotate across with the mouse. So if they gamble on the 2 flag and it's a full stack over there from EL Gaming, then bad luck. They can't really pull back off.
Yeah.
But you know, they obviously have taken the time here to scout out and try and figure out where some of those defenders are, and maybe now they got a bit of a better idea as to where they want to go. It does seem like it's the 2 flag. I mean, you can see Tiltamatil and Riku-Sam have headed in that direction, but then again, Colin and T4 are over the other side of the map, so
I mean,
hard to get a read.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense when moving your tank is just such a strenuous task now, that the last thing you want is move them all the way down to about like J3 and think, oh crap, we got to go back up to B2 now.
It's going to take you another 2 minutes to get up to the other side of the map.
No, so I can definitely understand where they're coming from now, after that little insight.
Well, it does seem like they might be headed towards the 1 flag here. You can see Tiltamatil and Riku-Sam have started to move in a northern direction. Happiness as well headed in that area, but Kongbai spotting out that mid-road. If Tiltamatil and Riku-Sam head down the 3 line, they are going to get spotted out. Even if they head down like the 1 line, there's a chance they might get spotted out as well. So, I don't know, maybe they're just here to stop a rotation, which could be potential if they put maybe a mouse and an IS-7 on that 1 flag.
Yeah. We have to wait and see how.
Because it would be so difficult for EL Gaming to rotate through the town when there's 2 mouses there.
Oh yeah, that would just kind of be the rain on their parade.
I suppose you'd have to send both the 50Bs and the Batchat AP.
Entertainment tankers.
Are they entertainment tankers right now?
No.
No.
Jordan, no.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
I'm surprised you asked.
Just wanted your opinion.
You got it, my friend. The lens flare, though, on point.
Is that entertainment?
Hell yeah, man.
I like the lens flare.
Yeah, a lot of interesting tricks you can do with the Observer client. Struggled with a little bit this morning, but we got there in the end.
Yep. 7 of T4 moving up here.
You were getting some fancy shots in
Oh,
last
I
game.
was having a ball, mate. I was having a ball. There wasn't much else happening, so, you know. Anyway, the IS-7 to T4, not really sure what he's trying to do there. That's
trying to die by the look of it.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Did a great job of it, though.
Like, why do you just push out like that? That is very confusing to me.
I know to soak some of the damage, I guess, but...
No, but there was no one that he was soaking for.
You asked me to... Well, you didn't ask me. It was more of a
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, but... Look, when there's nothing going on, I'll answer that rhetorical
well,
question.
I'll tell you what is going on. 8 seconds for that cap timer. EL do need to get a reset.
Yeah,
and they will.
come through. They get the first
That's
one.
a great shot.
Oh,
as
my
well.
lord. Shinozaka, he was able to get that. 1,400 damage.
You pen him with the
I figured that Colin was doing a good enough job to be the bodyguard there, but...
No, his turret wasn't quite angled as much as it probably could have been. And even if it was, there's still a hole in between him and the wall. And, well, there goes Happiness.
He gets the one all the way at the back!
Black is having a good time here.
He's threading his shot so well.
That's game over, really. There's no way BGaming comes back from this.
They're done so.
I don't like that strat at all, really.
It never worked. Oh, it's worked like once.
Yeah, this kind of worked occasionally. And you could see
barely
what
ever
BGaming was
works.
trying to do. They were trying to have... Or they were trying to force maybe EL Gaming to go for rotate, but losing the IS-7, I don't understand what in the world T4 was doing in his IS-7. It would have probably been better off having the IS-7 behind the mouse and just having 2 on the flank, and then the bat chats can flex around a little bit, because the bat chats were always going to be reset there by that Type 4 Heavy, and even if not, like, the Type 4 Heavy would have got an easy reset onto the mouse, the 50Bs would have come around and reset the bat chats. As soon as that IS-7 was down, there was no threats there for BGaming at all. So I would have preferred to have seen the IS-7 alive, both of these mouses in the city as they were.
Yeah, because they did nothing.
But the bat chats needed to be doing something else.
Well, this is a very one-sided victory for EL Gaming in Ruinberg here. The patented Blakey shot to end us off the night of Ruinberg. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like B Gaming, they just didn't know what to do and thought, ooh, maybe if we just cheese this one out. But Black, he was just too good at threading the angle. I can't believe he got the 3rd tank in that conga line.
I don't know, man. Like, it's a Type 4 Heavy. I don't know what they were hoping for against that, really.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like a kind of strategy that was ever going to work.
And it very rarely works as well.
Especially against EL Gaming, especially when you give up an IS-7 for free. I mean, I'm being very, very critical of BGaming tonight, but I don't think it's overly critical.
Have to be, though.
They haven't looked good.
We're getting closer and closer to playoffs here, and pretty much every decision matters because every point counts for so much.
Especially for BGaming.
And they need to stay in this top 6. And Dark Horse, obviously, a little bit of a shaky performance tonight, aren't as hot on their heels as they could be. But with hope is a very dangerous thing. If Dark Horse have hope of getting into that top 6, then the dreams fly.
It's not out of the realms of possibility here for either Coalition Zoo or Dark Horse to actually make it through to number 6.
Can actually start playing some games, and yeah, they're
Coalition
with a better shot.
At the moment, they would need 4 match wins to overtake BGaming.
Yes.
And BGaming would not have to win get any more points.
Well, one of those is a very big ask.
Yes. Dark Horse would need 3 match wins and at least a tiebreaker loss to be able to overtake the guys on BGaming.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, it was a good shot. But, like, obviously, it's a highly unlikely situation, but it's still a possibility. So any points that BGaming can get at the moment, oh, no way.
That's the one where, yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay. It was a...
I thought it was... takes that happiness.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be, like, a pixel shot, but that was actually not an amazing shot.
Yeah.
It was still a good one, but... anyway...
Oh, thought we had it. The BGaming logo looks a little bit...
Looks nothing like the EL Gaming logo.
I know, but... I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, well. 50B of Quiet and Fox TS doing fairly good amounts of damage. I think those 2 were the ones that really put the hurt onto the IS-7, onto T4 when he pushed in. Obviously, the Type 4 Heavy there of Black getting a lot done as well. He got that very, very nice penetrating shot early on that reset.
Back-to-backs. Great stuff coming out of EL once again. Really looking dicey for BGaming right now as they head into their second half of Ruinberg here. Really struggled to find their footing, and it started off, you can understand what they're going for there. They just want to hang out, wait a little bit, see what the EL Gaming are going to do, rotate them double mouse around, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
They kind of just kept them there. And who was in the mouse? I think Ricky Sam, was he in one of the ones that died early? Was he the one blocking, or was he in one of the ones that were rotating over?
I don't remember.
Was it Colin and Tiltil?
Yeah, I think it was Colin and Tiltil that were in the town. I don't really remember, to be honest.
Yep, the Batchet 25 AP is not doing anything for B Gaming tonight. Really struggling to find themselves. Just all these weaker teams are just really struggling, especially in this meta. It seems way more punishing right now because I feel like you're allowed to make mistakes now because you have so much HP pool to play with.
Yeah.
But that just allows the stronger teams to play more reckless.
Yeah, I also think the fact that, you know, some of these teams are having a lot of trouble getting through the mouse a lot of the time, and positioning properly against a mouse is also
that's going to
like
play
an
a
issue.
huge part, is how well you can kind of lure the mouse out of its kind of little nest, this little, what was it, little hole in the wall from like Tom and Jerry. The little mouse comes out and then just like pepper him from all angles.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But second half of Ruinberg, I do know that this is going to be a difficult task for B Gaming.
Well, yeah. It was always going to be a difficult task. Any team going up against EL is going to be a difficult task, especially first week on broadcast, playing on a new patch. It's always such an uphill battle. So whichever team adapts first, it really looks like EL Gaming have a very strong hold on the current meta, and
as they should.
Yeah, coming back to that Mines map, Mines round, where they were just completely peppering those two mouse picks from pretty much every angle, really shows that they understand the best way to take out the mouse. It's not from just trying to get those shots in its frontal armor, it's from just shooting at it every single angle.
It definitely is looking good for EL Gaming, and it should. You know, they're the professional team in the region. They're the ones that have the gaming house. They're the ones that train the most. They should be the ones that are adapting fastest to the new metas. So it's fair enough for that. B Gaming would have probably liked to have seen a little more from them so far tonight, but maybe we still see something coming out from them. Who knows?
I think it's way too early to count them out. They're at least good for one round coming into this. And as we're jumping in to our second half of Ruinberg, you can see EL going for the triple mouse this time around.
Yep. As well as an IS-7, so very, very heavy lineup there. B Gaming, not quite as heavy. They do have a couple of 50Bs as well, like what EL took on their defensive side. It's a very similar lineup to what EL had on the defense. I think EL had a IS-7 instead of an IS-4, perhaps. But regardless, this lineup from B Gaming definitely has enough damage to get through the mouses. Whether or not EL Gaming is going to allow that, I'm not so sure. And it looks like they're just going to roll straight out. They don't really care what B Gaming is doing.
No, and Black and the IE251 going to be going for some cheeky spots here. Remember when we saw Karen Tiger play this in the first game, which seems like eons ago? They came out and were able to clip out an S-Tank immediately off the bat.
Such early spots. Fox TS getting 2 up towards the northern part of the map. Black spotting out Colin there as well. So really a lot of early information there for EL.
Yep, EL. Curious to what they'll do with that information. So let's jump on board with a quick listen in to see how they go about planning their attack.
Nice. 好了，找到撤。小白撤，都撤。
小白跟刀刀是去这里吗？
对。
刀刀可能要吃一发。
13进去了，清里边去了。这老鼠和我对。
好，老鼠准备走。
不搭理他。
老鼠直接走。
刚杀底。
将他射击，将他主打这个90，大多你自己射，老鼠也在这边走。
上面50B，它上面。
中间两个老鼠再慢一点点，慢一点点，跟这个老鼠同步。
我没有亮杠4拉底啊，我没有亮了。
中间那个慢一点。好，中间的现在就走。
动手！
直接出！阿迪伦直接抢一个这里。
小白你去吧。
老鼠直接往上面走，老鼠直接往上面走。
明白。
这边老鼠。
我不去，你去。那个点我不熟。
一个就抢这里，点亮老鼠，点亮杠4，然后老鼠再往上面走，抢这边，把这下面点亮。
只有你自己 彩旗吗？
对，我自己才才气。老四往上面，我们。
EL Gaming slowly but surely making their way up in the triple mouse. You know, just trading paint at the moment. Not doing too much. B Gaming struggling to find the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a little bit out. I mean, Principal's on 1200, which is definitely within striking distance of a kill. But now we see a tank on the flag for EL Gaming. So it's up to B Gaming to respond to this. They do have a player down in K0, and they do have the control of the city. So this is not an awful situation for B Gaming. They are actually in a pretty reasonable position, but there's 3 tanks on that cap now. They need to get that reset.
They need to get in. They need to do it now. Rukusam in a great position to just deal the damage to the triple mouse. Blackie's just going to be darting in and out, getting off the cap any second now. That's going to reset it back up to a 30-second. EL Gaming could potentially be going down here with a really great flank from Taki and who was the other player there? Rikusam. For B Gaming.
This has been really good from B Gaming. They've used their mobility, that extra mobility that's afforded by the 50Bs, by the 113, by the Bat Chats, to be able to get around behind and take control of almost the entire map, really, with the exception of that 2 flag. They still have a player down in that K0 area, which is T4 in the IS4. He's been tanking up so much damage. He's fighting 2 Bat Chats on his own, and he's still alive. Eventually, he'll go down here, but in reality, it will be a trade. Fox TS should go down here.
Oh,
actually,
no!
No, not quite.
Kongbai takes that till before he can get the finishing blow onto Fox TS. Doesn't realize how lucky he got, but Kongbai does go down in the process, and Fox TS does finally fall. It is a 5 versus 2.
Yeah, so I mean, this should be B Gaming from here on out. There's no way Hardliner and Quiet are going to be able to deal with a mouse and 250Bs, a 113, and a Bat Chat. And, well, that will be the 1 round on the board that I'm going to give B Gaming. I don't think they get more than that.
That's the 1 round to keep history in line.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there was not a map where I could comfortably say, okay, B Gaming should get 1 round here. But there was always that feeling in my mind that B Gaming was good enough to get a round somewhere in that, you know, in that best of 9 series.
Second time we see EL on Ruinberg. And going actually 1 and 3 in terms of rounds in the last 2 times they've played it.
Yeah.
So potentially another map they might have to reevaluate and go over, because realistically they shouldn't be losing rounds to B Gaming this far in the competition. Especially like when you said they have the most resources to put towards.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they probably have to go back to every single map and reevaluate it because of this new meta. So
I get that.
It's you know, it's kind of like playing a new season almost.
I mean, I get that, but like when a team, EL, they have the most resources to work with. This should be, like you said, they're the only professional team in the region. They have the gaming house, they have all the sponsors, they have all the time in the world to play with. There's really no excuses to be dropping games to B Gaming.
No, but I think 1 is fine, really. Like, as long as they're not dropping points, I don't think it really matters.
They are dropping points a bit around too.
They are.
Meltdown as well, a team that just
Horseman, team efficiency.
I know, it's looking like it's a bit of a downward spiral for EL Gaming.
It is and it isn't. Like, to me, it also feels like the rest of the teams have stepped up a little bit this season. Certainly, team efficiency is a lot better this season.
Oh, without
I would probably argue Horseman is even better this season. Karen Tiger, I feel, is better.
Horseman didn't look that good in
no, but they didn't look very good last season either.
That's true.
So I think the general skill has improved this season in the APAC region. And I think EL, you know, some of those roster changes maybe haven't worked as well as they would have wanted them to. But it is good that EL Gaming is being challenged by some teams, because it's obviously a lot better practice for them when they do go over to, you know, these international tournaments where we want to see them perform, which they haven't done. They didn't do it all in Challengers Rumble, and they were very disappointed by it. I was disappointed by it. You know, they went out 5-1 and I think 5-2. That was the best two games that they played, and it was not good. So we want to see more from the best team in the region, and that at the moment is EL Gaming. They need to perform at the grand finals.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. And it's good that the rest of the region, the rest of the teams in the region are stepping up their level of play, because once the top team's been decided and they go over to represent our region, pretty much everyone's an EL fan from then on out. So everyone wants to see them do well here, and good stuff from B Gaming, at least, to challenge them in that respect, to keep them on their toes.
Yeah, well, only 1 round so far at the moment, so I think
Still,
EL's
to look at, fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think EL's fine though for now. Just don't want to see them drop any more here tonight, because I think that'd be giving away a little bit too much to B Gaming. But
to make your prediction wrong.
Exactly. That's more of the reason. But don't tell anyone. But yeah, look, it was really nicely played from B Gaming there. They got the control of the map that they needed, and obviously with the predominantly mouse or heavy lineup from EL, they weren't really able to rotate anywhere. So they kind of just had to take that fight, and it was a losing battle.
Yeah, and second, like I said, it's another time we've seen EL go down on Ruinberg. Probably not wise to read too much into it.
Yep.
But there's not a lot going for B Gaming in this series, so gotta cling to what we can to keep the dream alive for B Gaming. But that's gonna be Ruinberg done. Yeah, done and dusted for Ruinberg, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, 3-1. These rounds are going so long. It's been such a crazy night.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I've even felt like I've had to cast differently because the fights go for so much longer. You know, there's not such a burst of, like, batch hats go in, battle,
reload,
batch hats reload and fall back, and you have a bit of downtime. But now it's kind of just like
long and drawn out.
Like it's
I honestly feel that as well. So I'm a bit frazzled. Apologies for that.
Instead of it going like that, it's more like that.
Yeah, it's just a slow rise.
Yeah.
In terms of that, the aggression.
Which is hard.
Like it really is, especially when tanks is such. It's not a linear game to cast, but you can really understand. With all the information given to us, you can really identify how a fight's going to go before it starts based on HP, spotting, positioning, what tank's going up against what. But now that's all been thrown up in the air. We really have no idea how many shots is this mouse going to ding? How many shots are going to get penetrated? Is he going to go down in 2 or 3 rotations of the autoloaders here? There's just so much up in the air that it's making it a little bit more difficult to really predict how these fights are going to be outcome.
Keeps things interesting though.
Oh,
I think it's good for the game to be having changes like this to keep things fresh because, you know, from season 1 through to now, we haven't had a major change in what sort of tanks we've seen picked throughout. Really, apart from the Swedish tanks coming in, but they certainly haven't made as much of a difference as the mouse
they just kind of like spotted.
They were slotted in.
You're not seeing like 3S tanks per team.
But this, to me, is too much, right? You would want to see some changes, but not a massive change like that.
Because balancing is always such a tricky issue.
It is.
There's a very fine line that if you cross it even the slightest bit, things just go haywire.
I don't think they've crossed it a little bit. I
don't think they've crossed it a little bit. They've crossed it about 3 mouse lengths.
30 kilometers away. They've gone that far past it. But it is what it is. It's what we've got for the moment. And a double mouse on B Gaming. Just a single one for EL. They have a T54 lightweight and a TVP with batch hats to round out the lineup. So overall, nothing particularly surprising here, to be honest. Like, I don't even know if we'll see the Kranwagen that much anymore because that's,
that's a tank we haven't seen at all.
How is that going to match up against a mouse?
It doesn't.
It's not going to be the easiest of tanks to pin a mouse with because it doesn't have great gun handling, doesn't have excellent penetration. So I think that's even more of a bit of a niche now than it was before.
I really liked the Kranwagen. I thought it brought a lot to a game.
It was interesting. It's a good tank to watch.
Yeah, I really think it had such an interesting strategy, and like you said, it filled a very unique niche on a lot of maps. Like you wouldn't see it on every map, but it would excel at one
Have a
point
look at this.
on one map.
What is that setup from B Gaming? That is very weird. There's so many tanks down there in that K6 area. EL Gaming have just almost double bluffed B Gaming somehow and decided we're going to get on the cap really, really quickly.
You have to
How is B Gaming going to reset this? They've got 20 seconds. It's going to be Happiness leading the charge with those bat chats, but is he going to get there in time? He should.
By the skin of his bat
Is he even going to get there in time?
10 seconds. Happiness, he needs to go in, but what's
I don't
going to
think
happen?
he has
He's
time.
just going to die.
I don't think that he's going to get there.
3,
2, oh, he's just there.
1.
Oh,
he just gets it, but at what cost? He goes down. Here comes Taki in the back line as well. Going to be popping off a few shots, but look at the focus fire coming out of EL Gaming. Precision is the name of the game when it comes to these tankers.
And the amazing thing about that from EL Gaming as well is that they haven't wasted any shells. Look, there's still 8 shells between them.
They only shot 6 shots.
Normally, you'll see 1 or 2 shots go into a dead tank after the fact. But EL Gaming's comms are so good
precision
that they know how many shells do they need? How many of those players are going to be firing a shell and penetrating a shell that they don't waste those extra shells, which allows EL Gaming to take a second fight where other teams would have only been able to take that first one and they would have been on the reload now.
Yeah, the EL Gaming need like a little tag, like B Gaming has the entertainment tankers, they need the precision tankers, because that's really what they were able to do just there. That was a thing of beauty. No like you said, they didn't waste any shots. Every shot.
Every shot fired?
Every shot fired. Thanks for that.
Go with that?
Yeah, every shot fired was a shot well placed.
Black starting to take a little bit of damage there on EL Gaming's
his
side.
job.
But yeah, exactly. And I don't see B Gaming really being able to come back from this after
They've
losing
lost
two bat
bat
chats.
chats, and with only one left, there's really a very limited window that B Gaming can come back into this, and it's closing every second.
And EL Gaming is completely encircling B Gaming as well. I mean, nice. He's not going to do that much on his own down there, but you know, it's like another tank there just spotting, getting shots into the back. He's a little bit of a pesky mosquito, I suppose, at this point. So B Gaming have so much to worry about, and you know, they don't have anything really that can deal with EL Gaming right now.
Yeah, they're going to go down, making EL up 4-1 any minute now. As when you are such an aggressive play, and EL once again showing that the Batshats can reign supreme in the right setup. And what good are 2 full HP Mousers if it's a 2 versus 7?
Yeah, this has been really good focus fire from EL Gaming. They have essentially not bothered too much with the Mousers. Obviously taking 2 Batchats off the field straight away is going to help. It gives you a lot more freedom, but yeah, really nice stuff from EL Gaming. But I gotta say, like, B Gaming don't really have anyone to blame but themselves. That setup was...
That was bizarre.
Really weird. Like, they must have been expecting something over to the 2 flag from EL Gaming. But it's EL Gaming, you know, you can't just expect that they're going to do one thing and hope for the best, because if they get on the flag like that, they will punish you, and they did. And B Gaming, you know, they needed to have another tank up there for the reset. I mean, they had an STB1. Why isn't he in the typical reset position?
Who knows, man? Who knows, Jordan? That was really questionable coming out of B Gaming. It seemed like they just kind of got the false start like in Mario Kart and then just spinning out, waiting to go. And B Gaming, they hit A at the perfect opportunity.
They got the boost.
They got the boost. They got on the cap, and they were 3 seconds away from taking it. And how did B Gaming break that? Losing 2 bat shots.
Yeah, well, I don't even know. It was just not good at all. It was not good at all. EL Gaming, everything went perfectly for them. That kind of a setup is very, very rarely seen. I don't think I've ever seen that from B Gaming or any team here in APAC.
And the only way B Gaming can come back in this series is with the blue shell right now, because pretty much everything
I would say they probably need 3 or 4.
They need at least 4 blue shells to come back into this series, because they're getting overlapped right now. By
they are getting absolutely demolished right now.
Yeah, it's EL Gaming. They're just showing very strong on this patch. Really, it's not faltering, not slowing down. No, like, oh, have they adapted well enough? They're really just coming out swinging.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's, you know, it's good for them to be able to go up against a team like B Gaming to start off this new patch, as opposed to Team Efficiency, Karen, Tiger, Meltdown, the teams that have looked a lot stronger.
Another team that looked amazing on this patch.
Exactly, and you know, it'll be interesting to see how Team Efficiency and EL match up now, because obviously we've seen Team Efficiency 5-4 them both times that they've met this season. But there you go. How many? Not a single wasted shell. Not a single wasted shell.
Look at that. Oh.
Okay, that might have been 1 into that last batch out there, but that's so good from EL. Like,
yeah, they literally two kills onto 2 bat shots and only 1 shell wasted.
Yeah, Fox TS had a good day there in his TVP. First time we've seen him in the TVP tonight. He puts up 4.5k.
Oh, wow. He was barely even saw him when we were watching the game.
No, because he was that one at the back. Not at the back, but like he was...
Off to the side.
Off to the side, yeah. The bat chats were there. They got the shots off, but he was the other tank that was firing shots into those 2 bat chats. Exactly, and the TVP able to just dump out so much damage so quickly. Nice to see him up the top there for EL. Hardliner again with another good performance. And really the only ones to make any mention of for B Gaming is Colin and Tiltimatil, but they were the last two alive.
Yeah.
So
it's irrelevant. It's void. Null and void.
Not good for B Gaming. Shinozaka and Happiness, 1 shot of damage between them. Those were the 2 that went in to try and get that first reset, and they just got absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, feel like Alex in the prediction game at the moment.
Well, yeah. Although if you and I get this one correct, today we will have all got the same amount of points. Because he got the last one correct.
Got the Coalition Zoo one wrong there. Are we counting that, or that?
No, we're not counting that.
Oh,
we're not counting that because that was a forfeit.
Yeah, fair enough.
No one gets points off that. No one loses points off that. Admittedly, I would love to because last time you guys both predicted Coalition Zoo over Meltdown, so I would have got 3 points if Meltdown won, which they would have.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
the Coalition Zoo forfeited that game as well, so they've ruined it.
Yeah, 2-4. I wonder if everything's going all right for Coalition Zoo. I understand they're a bit of a hopeless spot at the moment. Like you said, they've got a real struggle to get back into a position for playoffs. But dude, I love watching them play.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just can't get everyone online.
Yeah.
Obviously, people have
we all come from games,
certain
but we all know
lives
the
that
struggle.
Exactly.
Family first type of thing.
Exactly, and it is what it is. We have to deal with it, but obviously, having a look towards the top of the standings, really more so than the bottom. I mean, those are the teams that we want to really be watching, I think.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for the next time that EL and Efficiency go up against each other. Let alone...
That's in the last week as well, if I'm correct.
That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
And Karen Tiger and Horseman, it feels like forever since we've seen them kind of be rivals again. It's like two teams that we talk about vying for that third spot. Like, Efficiency definitely have the edge over them for second, but third is still hotly contested from Meltdown, Karen Tiger, and Horseman. I think Meltdown has the slight edge, but obviously they are lacking in points.
On the power rankings, which don't exist, but in my mind, in the power rankings, I'd say Meltdown 3, Karen Tiger 4, Horseman 5.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
But
who do you put first, EL or Efficiency?
EL. Yeah, I don't think Team Efficiency overtakes EL here.
In your powering.
In the power rankings, EL's still ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Because the fact that EL has had more consistent performances against the rest of the competition. Team Efficiency has had good performances, yes, against EL Gaming. They've beaten them twice, but they've faltered against Meltdown. They've faltered against Karen Tiger. You know, they've had some tougher games than EL Gaming, where EL Gaming just 5-0s everyone. Team Efficiency might 5-2 them.
No, I think that's the correct way to make that differentiation between those two top teams at the moment.
It's close, but to me, it's still EL Gaming.
Yeah, I agree. Like like EL, the one thing they have over Team Efficiency, the one thing they have over EL right now is they've beaten them twice, and obviously they were super close games, 5-4 each way.
Yeah.
So those can go
like
either way.
It's the same argument that we have. Like Karen Tiger has actually been beaten by Horseman twice. They've only beaten Horseman once, but yet I still rank Karen Tiger above Horseman.
But Karen Tiger looks so messy recently.
They have, exactly. It's been a bit of a downward spiral. I mean,
But Horseman looked terrible today as well.
Yeah, I mean, going up against Team Efficiency though, like they're never going to have a great time. Always feels to me like Team Efficiency is a lot ahead of
Team Efficiency are ranked 2 and not 1 because there is a
Exactly.
potential.
Yeah, it's true, but not for Horseman.
Not for Horseman.
I think for Meltdown, Karen Tiger, probably not Horseman.
No, that's a fair call. I'm really excited to see Meltdown go up against either EL or Efficiency again as well. I think they're on such a good streak right now that, that no one's going to be able to stand in their way.
It's definitely going to be a very good finish to the season
Oh,
because
it's gonna
a
be
lot
amazing.
of things can change in
so many
1
good
week.
matchups coming, and like the points, they got to be close.
They are.
They must.
There's
be
3 points between Meltdown and Karen Tiger, who are also equal with Horseman. And then Team Efficiency, I think, is 6 points behind EL, which is 2 wins. One of which have they got tonight. Obviously, EL's going to win this one as well, so it's still going to be 6. But
be interesting if it comes down, like he says, when the last game comes down to like one last game for first spot. Wouldn't that be an absolute treat?
First and second, it doesn't really matter because both of them will qualify.
It's bragging rights, though.
But it is bragging rights, and not to mention, you do get extra points from being the first place after the regular season because of the way the grand finals qualification system works. So
and at
that's
the end
important.
of the day, you're playing for first. It doesn't matter if you qualify as second. Like that's your consolation prize. That's your safety net.
Yeah.
But everyone's in it for that #1 spot. And to have the bragging rights of beating EL once again, something that a lot of people, including us, thought was going to be an impossible task for most teams.
I thought it was impossible. I honestly didn't think that it was going to happen this season. But twice. And almost a couple more times with Horseman and Meltdown.
Isn't that nuts?
It is nuts.
So it's probably one of the most competitive seasons of APAC we've had.
It's for the seasons that I've cast, it definitely has been because this is the second season that I've cast. But it has been a very, very competitive season, really.
It's been looking good. We do have those like slow periods as well where it is like EL stomping over everyone. But when we get those great games that come down to the wire, I think what was it? Karen Tiger versus Efficiency, where it came down to mines and
Karen Tiger won. Yeah.
Oh, that was such a great game.
It was a weird one though. I thought Team Efficiency would win on mines.
I know it's absolutely insanity because I didn't think Karen Tiger played mines before, or it was like something along those lines. Or had an abysmal loss ratio. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere. But enough of that. we can relive the glory days another time. EL taking on B Gaming, 1 round away, EL from taking this out. And here are your tanks for the last side of Muravanka.
Yeah, so just a single mouse for EL on the defense. They have a lot more mobility than we have been seeing so far tonight from either of these teams. B Gaming with a very similar roster to what EL ran on the attack, though EL did take a TVP and an RU, I think it was, instead of the double bat AP. Oh no, it was a T54 lightweight, but regardless. Still a pretty decent lineup there for B Gaming. Are they going to set up with just a quick push into that one flag?
What's Black doing?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Anyway.
Don't drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen.
This is interesting from EL, because they may catch B Gaming off guard here. I mean, Shinozaket's kind of isolated in that position. If he gets spotted out and if EL Gaming can get on top of him, he will die and they won't be able to trade him out that easily.
The mouse won't be able to react in time.
This setup, it's very sneaky from EL. Like, the spots from B Gaming aren't going to come out until B Gaming's pretty much right on top of EL, because of the fact that EL here is right below that little ridge. This is dangerous.
No!
He's not getting out if you're alive.
Oh, no! You got to be screaming for him.
Oh, well, that's a bit of team damage. Still, I don't think he gets out of here. No,
yeah,
there you go.
That's more damage than he should have got.
And Hardliner's damage to Loda's. Is that the Loda or Amarak? I think it's an Amarak's damage.
See, the beauty about the EL team is whoever got that team shot, one of the members can just turn around and just slap him.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, idiot?
Yeah. Unless they're on like the other side of the room. Maybe they're not.
Throw a shoe.
Throw a shoe.
Whatever's close by. Shoot an AP shell.
Hardline up. Nope. Fox DS is spotted out. Molo. Oh, no.
Hardliner, can he get behind? What's going on in this game?
Fox DS has blocked him.
EL have absolutely no situational awareness at the moment. They're just driving into each other every chance they get. But they are able to take out the 2 Batshot APs. Hardliner goes down for the trouble, though. Now Fox DS in a world of hurt. And unfortunately...
Oh, he's doing the jukes.
Where's that shot going?
He's unlit, so...
Yeah, but...
Well. It's still a favourable trade there for EL.
This is a bizarre
Look
game.
at Black. Why is he being so aggressive right now?
I don't know. Oh, because Principal and Quiet are there.
Oh, I couldn't even see that.
We were in first person.
We were on B Gaming's view, and they hadn't spotted Quiet and Principal. And, well, there you go. The mysteries are revealed. EL Gaming just... I don't even know what's going on here for B Gaming.
Oh,
like,
that
it's all over the place.
That was a nice touch. I like that. We're just both thinking, what is Black doing? And then Quiet and Principal get lit up as well. Principal is going to be able to pick up one. Quiet does go down to Colin in the mouse, but will the mouse fall here? Nice force on the reload. That's going to be 38 seconds, a long time before he's able to get back in the fight. But I feel like the damage is done as B Gaming with only 4 tanks left on the field. Taki and Colin. As I say that, 3 tanks. Colin goes down in a
Fox DS is going to be out up the top of that damage chart once again. He has just been pumping damage out this entire game, sitting in that position on the K line. Eventually Black does go down here to Happiness, but in reality it's too far gone really here for B Gaming, unless something goes horribly wrong for EL. If they lose Fox TS and Principal, for example, maybe something goes badly, but the position that EL are in here, they should be able to close out the win.
Yep, Kongbai still relatively healthy as well, is nice. Only in the AMX 3090 though, so not the most impactful tank in the game. And yeah, Fox TS is absolutely lighting.
Every time I see Fox TS, he's just clipping. Clipping, and pumping damage out.
Yeah,
TVP life.
Just going to be hanging out, getting some shots out. Taki finally goes down as nice, cleans him up. 2 tanks left on the field for B Gaming. I think that's all she wrote for B Gaming tonight. They're going to be going down to EL 5-1 on the second half of Muravanka tonight. So history repeats itself. B Gaming are good for 1 round against EL, but that's it.
Pretty much. Tiltil and Happiness have no chance of coming back into this one would think. It's just a matter of time before EL close this out. I wonder how much damage Kongbai's been able to do. I haven't really seen much from him. He's kind of just been driving around in the mouse.
Yeah,
which kind of been the most fun.
I can imagine it's just like every fight he gets, he's like, I'm almost there. Then the fight moves to a different location. He's like, oh, gotta get there now. Well, that's going to be it. EL take it 5-1. Congratulations to them. A very convincing game, really showing a great stronghold on the meta. Looking forward to see them playing tomorrow and in coming weeks.
Really, really good stuff from EL Gaming. And B Gaming didn't look like they were really in that one at all. I mean, the one on Ruenberg was the only one which they looked good on. But aside from that, EL Gaming just far too strong. And like you said, they look really comfortable in the new meta with the mouses. They are still leaning on the bat chats and the TVPs as they should be, but they are starting to diversify and put some put some mouses into their lineups.
Yeah, I really think that's I know it's like a boring thing to watch because 3 mouses just kind of driving at each other, dinging pretty much every shot that comes their way, is a little bit stale and dull and not as exciting as we're used to. Like you said, it's the bat shots coming in, clipping someone out, then they reload, which, you know, there's a little bit of downtime to kind of regain our thoughts, regain the grip on the map, but it is these long, drawn-out fights that can go for 6 minutes before a single mouse falls, and he's been fighting for 5.
Yeah,
it's just something that not only us, but everyone playing as well is going to have to adapt to and really get an idea of how to play around it.
I think it's good at least to have that variety. You know, it's nice to see something different at least.
Well, EL Gaming definitely showing that 1 mouse is sufficient.
Yeah.
Still running bat shots at the TVP.
But that's on Moravanka, right?
I get that, but you saw, I think, both times Big Gaming tried to roll out with 2.
Yeah.
And just didn't work out for him.
No, but if EL Gaming had rolled out with 2 and B Gaming had rolled out with 1, I still think EL would have won.
Oh yeah, that's not in question. It's just.
And this was just a great trap from EL. Like I said, like Shinozaki was never going to spot them until he was right on top of them, and by then it would be too late to run away.
I mean, you can see the return damage coming in. Look at Hardline, can't move.
Yeah, they were both trying to hide behind that one little mound, and unfortunately for Hardliner, Fox TS was already there.
Yeah, that's funny. Funny stuff. Fox TS, huge damage coming out of the TVP. No surprise there. Like you said, he was just constantly clipping every single chance we got to watch him.
4.3k is pretty damn good. Kongbai actually did manage to get quite a bit of damage out, even though he was rolling around the whole map in the mouse. But yeah, across the board, things are probably pretty good here for EL Gaming. Can't be too worried about how things have gone for them. Happiness, 3k in his bat chat, 2.1 for Tiltil in the mouse. I mean, it's not bad, but there will be some tanks missing there. Certainly Shinozaki wouldn't have gotten much done. He was the one that got picked up early on in the piece. So yeah, would like to see some more from B Gaming, but unfortunately not going to be the case. We won't be able to see anything more because they've already lost.
Yeah, they are not coming out with a very strong showing here tonight. Initial impressions of B Gaming is they seem to know what they're doing in some of the maps here. They have the right idea, just poor execution of it, but that's the good thing because ideas are always hard to come up with. It's they understand what they're meant to do, it's just they can't get it, but that's something that can be achieved through a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, and just studying the game, studying the VODs, watching other teams play, definitely checking out the international scene because they're the ones that are going to have the strongest performances on those metas first, considering they have just such a highly competitive environment to play in with teams constantly challenging each other. Definitely a lot of information to be gathered from studying abroad.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been a good night, I think, for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Been a bad night for some teams, though. Obviously, Team Efficiency had a good night. Karen Tiger had a pretty good night. EL Gaming had a good night. But be interesting to see how Meltdown go, how Coalition Zoo go on this new patch. Obviously, we didn't get to see them play tonight. They will be playing tomorrow, though.
Can you imagine someone trying to tell, God, what's his name? Mr. Batshat? Vicetone.
Yeah.
To not
Well, that's kind of the situation that happened to Safi as well, because he always plays the bat chat, but now we're seeing him in a mouse as well. So.
Yeah, you said you ran into him in some pub game and he was just stomping with it, right?
No, that was Skel.
Ah.
That was Skel.
My mistake. Safi and Skel, I got those two mixed up a little bit.
Safi's been playing it on stream a lot, though. But anyway, digressing, Fox TS, very, very good night. Hardliner, very, very good night. Across the board, EL Gaming had a pretty good one, and no usage hand power up the top again for B Gaming.
Yeah, he's really struggling to
I honestly can't even remember seeing him play today, you know? Like,
did they sub him out?
Surely not.
I feel like we didn't see him after, like, the first game.
Either that or he was just irrelevant.
I guess we'll have to wait and see for the second half. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. That's why. He wasn't that irrelevant.
I was going to say, like, I don't remember seeing him.
We saw him in game 1, I think.
Nah, anyway.
Maybe. Who knows? But regardless, his performance last week pretty much echoed how it would have if he'd played tonight.
Well, it seems that way for B Gaming at the moment. I mean, across the board, like 1,400 damage on Taki, 1,200 for Riku Sam for T4, and 857 for Shinozaki. When you're going up against lineups that have always had a mouse in the roster, they've always had a large chunk of HP, you just haven't been able to get the damage out that you needed. So
yeah, they're going to have to work on penning those shots, and Got to watch those videos at the start of our stream. It explains everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they're very well aware of the mechanics of the game, but maybe it's just not quite as good as EL Gaming.
No, I jest. I'm sure they're very well aware of how to play World of Tanks, Jordan. But not at the same level as EL. That's something that they should strive to get to.
Yeah, not on the same level either as our celebrity tankers.
Hey!
Because I'm here today. Usually it's Alex that does it, but he's not here right now, so I'm going to pull off the celebrity tankers. Our first celebrity tanker for tonight is Ravi18. He has been around a fair bit. I've actually seen him in chat. He's been watching my streams occasionally as well. So shout outs to Ravi. Thanks for watching. Good to have you here at the WGL. And we do have our second one up as well. I think it's Doze. He's been around as well, having a look, and also always good to have everyone tuning in here. So shout out to Doze as well.
And thanks for everyone for sticking with us during that very extended break that we had. Props to you guys, you're the real MVP.
Yeah, that was obviously very much appreciated. Obviously, good for us to get a bit of a break. We get to have a bit of dinner. And
yeah, we got to eat dinner while it was still hot.
Yeah, like
isn't
not eating
that
on stream.
Luxury? Isn't that an
Do you know how many
luxury?
times? Do you know how many times I've actually eaten on stream, guys?
I think
you
my
would not
favorite
know. You would not
was
believe it.
when you and Alex had those hot curries.
Yeah.
And you came back and you're tearing and your face is like glowing red.
That was a mistake. We've never done that again.
Oh my god, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen on stream.
Yeah.
On like a professional production broadcast before. That's
it wasn't
hilarious.
great. It wasn't great.
Hilarious. I feel like Alex was like about to start crying, or his nose was crying at least.
Anyway, enough fun. Let's have a look and see how things went today, because it was a pretty quick day in all honesty. I mean, 3 5-1s and a forfeit. Like, it's pretty much as quick as it's going to get.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, we had low scores, but this new meta really, I don't know if it's teams just trying to adjust to it, so they're playing a little bit patient, a little bit slow, a little bit wary of the opposition here. But we had a lot of very long games. I think a few 10-minute games, a few games that, just went down to the time limit, which is something we're not used to seeing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the meta now, really. Like, we are going to be seeing longer round timers. Whether or not that's going to impact things, obviously if we get to a 5-4 and we have this kind of new, slower style of gameplay, it is going to end up being some really, really long matches.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to see new things develop as well, and I'm sure people are going to have to start looking into better ways than just picking the mouse to counter the mouse.
But like, that is the way, right? There is nothing that's better, I don't think.
And
maybe
that's
someone
just,
will come up with
and
something.
you're just looking at it very two-dimensionally, Jordan.
Oh,
you got to open your third eye
Tier 10
and
artillery.
really expand your horizons. See, that's an Alex thing to say.
I
got to be the Alex of the night tonight. But look, that's let's have a look at the games coming up tomorrow. I had no smooth transition from that one. That was just I'd thrown myself.
Should have opened up your third eye into the future.
I'd thrown myself under the bus and I was going to crawl out. Look, our first game of tomorrow, the Coalition Zoo taking on Horsemen, then Dark Wolves will versus Team Efficiency. Meltdown taking on EL. Ooh, you don't want to miss that one, guys. That's going to be an absolute banger of a game. Banger! And then to round out the night, B Gaming taking on Karen Tiger.
Yeah, so Horseman Coalition Zoo, that is an important one for both those teams. They really would have wanted to get points on the board, both of those teams. But I think the real takeaway there is that Meltdown versus EL Gaming one.
I'm so excited.
That's going to be the match of the week, I'd say.
I get to cast it. Are you casting that with me or is Alex?
I think that's me. I think
that's
me. Yeah. Lucky.
That's going to be a good game.
We them boys.
Really excited. We them boys. Really excited to see if Meltdown can finally do it, can finally get over that last little hill of beating out EL Gaming.
Well, that's going to be it from us tonight, I think. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Yep, like Jordan said, that's all from us here tonight. From myself, Jordan, the entire production crew. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, happy tanking. Back if you go down Akio V. Karen Tiger answer with a first. A little bit by the Karen Tiger tank. Oh, Helkera, he found out Smith, but he's not getting any of the shots yet. He could potentially get another one on Backhawk if he gets the shot. Looking for it. No! Revolution's going to block that one away. Backhawk does go down in the process, though. One more shot into Revolution could do it. That's all he needs. Helkera with a huge triple.
Because there's kind of like two elements to it.
Everyone laughing.
And even if it was, there's still a hole in between him and the wall. And Well, there goes Happiness.
He
Black,
gets the one all the way at the back.
Black is having a good time here.
He's threading.
And take control of almost the entire map, really, with the exception of that 2 flag. They still have a player down in that K0 area, which is T4 in the IS4. He's been